Good morning, Tottenham fans. Huge transfer news today. One of our loan players is going to come back and Frank wants to see what he's made of. There's news on Ange Postecoglou and his next job. And is there still space for Mbeumo? All that today, lots to get on with. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and get seen more to others. So let's get into this. So Spurs have, these are the wingers that are on our books at the moment. Johnson, Solomon, Tell, Sonny, Yang, Moore, Odegaard. But in the news today, they were speaking about Frank being hugely backed and the concentration is on the forward line. Now, if the concentration's on the forward line, we must be doing something with our forwards that we've already got, because that's not even including Richarlison and Solanke as well. On top of that, and Lancashire, and maybe Scarlett. We've got so many forward players, but we still, in my opinion, are not strong enough to compete in the Champions League with what we've got, unless some of the potential players that I'll speak about soon improve under Frank. And Frank is very good at improving players, especially forward players. So the player that Tottenham want to come back from loan, and Frank has requested him to come back and come into pre-season, is Manos Solomon. Now, he had an exceptional season with Leeds, but that was in the Championship. He has played in the Premier League for us, but only made about 5 appearances. He didn't really get a chance. I think he had a couple of good games. One of them was against Burnley. I think he got 2 assists. He hasn't really had a chance. In my opinion, it's a good idea for Frank to just have a look at him in pre-season. And if he thinks, he's not for him and he's not good enough, or he's not going to be at the required level, then Frank can still sell him after. I think it's a clever decision to have a look at him, and if he hits if he comes in and impresses Frank, then we've got a player there that we've not had to pay for. So in my opinion, have a look at him and then see what happens. But for me, I still think we need a bit better than Solomon. I honestly do. I think if you're going to be playing Champions League football and competing in the Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, you're going to need a very strong squad, and Solomon's not it for me. Hopefully he proves me wrong, but we'll see from there. Ange Postecoglou has been tipped to be getting a job in Saudi. Now, here's a little catch for you. If he gets a job in Saudi, do you think he will take Sonny with him? Now, that could be something that nobody spoke about. This it's not in the news or anything like that. It's just something I thought of. If Ange does get a job in Saudi, he may want to sign Sonny to move with him, and that club that he joins may pay big money for Sonny, and it might be something Spurs might not be able to turn down. And then that might be a reason why we're looking at forward players, because that's 190k off the wage bill as well, so we'll be able to afford to pay top dollar for a new winger that comes in. Now, Tottenham, here's the transfer news. Tottenham have signed Matisse Tell on a permanent. They've signed him for 35 million euros. That's 29.7 million in total. For me, he's a potential signing. I'm glad we didn't spend 50 million on him, but he's on a 6-year contract, so that'll be paid. His wages will be paid out within 6 years. It's not going to affect our wage budget too much. I'll be happy with this signing as long as we bring in another quality forward or two. If we bring in an Mbeumo as well on top of Tell, I'll be more than happy. I think Tell has got a lot of really good attributes. I think when he was playing for Bayern Munich, he scored some wonder goals. He has got a brilliant shot on him. He wasn't doing it enough last season for us, but he didn't really have that much of a chance to show us what he can do. And when he was playing in a second string side that were underperforming anyway, so it was going to be almost impossible for him to shine. Under Frank, like I said earlier, Frank improves forward players massively. So Tell could really improve under Frank next season. He could end up being a bargain buy. He has all the potential. He's got the skill, he's got the pace, he's definitely got the work rate, he's got the attitude to learn. And in a Frank system, you never know. It's a lot more through balls on the Frank system than there is run down the line and cross it in the Adden system. So the Frank system will suit Tell a lot more, and we may see the best of him. So I'm happy with that signing. I really am. And I think We Are Tottenham TV did a poll. I think there's 1,700 people voted, and 77% said they were happy with the Tell signing. So let me know in the comments if you're happy with this signing. I just think that he could explode next season. He really could. Odegaard is another one that I think could explode too. And if you had Odegaard on the right, Tell on the left, Solanke up front, and they played, well, they probably wouldn't have that system under Frank, but let's just say them three were up front, or Odegaard just behind them in the 10. You could really see that gelling together really, really well. Putting Mbeumo in there too, and you've got a really good strike force coming on. Maybe add an Eze if I'm being greedy, and we'd have one of the best attacks in the league. Mbeumo, Eze, Solanke, Tell, Odegaard, But so what's going to happen to all these wingers that we have then? So, like I said, we've got Johnson, Solomon, Tell, Sonny, Yang, Moore, Odegaard. Now, Moore, I love him. I think he's going to be an exceptional player, but I do believe he should go out on loan. He really should. Get him some first team football. Get him playing, get regularly. Show people what he can do. Put him in the Championship. I think he'd be way too good for League One. Put him in the Championship, see what he can do. Rough and tumble of the Championship. It's very physical. If he can do well there, then he can prove himself and get himself into the first team at Spurs. With Yang, I think he's already played in the Championship. He's done pretty well, not exceptional. His physicality is still lacking. I think he still needs another loan. So Sonny, like I explained, Sonny might be sold this summer. There is a huge possibility that could happen. He's in the last year of his contract. If a big offer comes in, I don't think Spurs could turn that down. Solomon, he's going to be seen in pre-season by Frank. If Frank don't want him, he may sell him as well. Johnson, I think we will keep because Frank wanted to sign Johnson for Brentford, so he must see potential in him. So Johnson could even explode next season under Frank as well. So that leaves us really with Odegaard, Johnson, Tell, and then that's it if the rest go. So we have space for Mbeumo, because that was going to be my next question. Is there space to bring in Mbeumo? If we do what I say, Sonny goes, Yang goes on loan, Moore goes on loan, then we can bring in Mbeumo in and have an attack line of Mbeumo, Tell and Solanke, which for me would be a much better strike force than we had last season. Remember, Richarlison's still here. If an offer comes in for Richarlison, I think we should sell him too. That would be the better idea. He's always injured. I love the guy. I love his work rate. I love his intention of wanting to do well, but he's just always not available, and it's not a good ability to not have availability. So that's my thoughts on what we're going to do on the transfer windows. That's what's Tell signed. We need to sign more. I have an idea as well on what we should do for our DM role. So I haven't mentioned that yet. But an idea, I think, is maybe we should put Christian Romero in the 6. Now, Frank is known for changing players' positions to suit their strengths. And like Mbeumo used to play like up front, and he moved him to the wing. He's also played him at right wing back at some points of his career as well. But I think Frank may tinker with putting Romero in the 6 and having Danso and Van der Ven just behind him. Romero is strong in the tackle, good on the ball, he's got great vision, good passing range, good in the air. He can slot back in to help the defence when we're under the cosh. It would be a perfect position for Romero. And if I was the manager, which I'm not, I would trial him out in the 6 to see how he does. The only issue you would have there is Argentina probably wouldn't agree with it, but it's nothing to do with them, in my opinion. They would just not like him playing in the midfield when they'd want to play him at centre-back, and he's not getting any practice at centre-back. But for me, if you're sitting in a 6 anyway, he even likes going up scoring as well. He goes up for headers, for corners. He's always getting in the box. He's trying to score goals all the time. So for me, he's an ideal number 6. Now, Argentina may not like it, but they might unearth even better six than they've already got, because Romero has a lot of potential to play well in that position. He really does. He can translate defence to midfield back to defence. He can link up play from midfield to the forward line. I really think it'll be a very, very good idea to do that. Now, whether Frank does it or not, it's up to him. But for me, that would be like unleashing a new player in a new position. If we did do that, we definitely need to sign another centre-back. Vuskovic is coming in as well. And I think Vuskovic has played in the DM role before, and he's an absolute beast. He's like 6'4" or something. He's not turned 18 yet. I think he's 18 now. And he's turned 18, otherwise he wouldn't be able to come to us. And he's about 6'4". He's a beast, strong on the tackle. He's played DM position before, and he's a centre-back. So you could have Vuskovic, Danso, Dragushin, Van der Ven as centre-backs and put Romero in the 6. Makes perfect sense to me. You'd have Romero in the 6, Bentancur in the 8, and put Bergvall on the 10. That's a very, very strong midfield in my opinion. And if you had Mbuemo on the right wing, Eze on the left wing, and put Solanke up front, we have a top 4 side there, I'm telling you. I'm getting ahead of myself, getting a little bit excited, but honestly, that would be an insane side. The only problem we'd have is if we start getting injuries again, we'd have to strengthen our squad up a bit. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's video. Are you happy with the Matisse Tel signing? Would you put Romero in the number 6 role? And do you think Sonny will be sold this summer? Thank you for watching, and come on you Spurs.